Here is a box, a musical box, wound up and ready to play. But this box can hide a secret inside. Can you guess what is in it today? It's PC McGarry, who self-identifies as recreationally transgender. Hello, PC McGarry. Are you fighting hate crime? What about knife crime? I didn't think so, and the less said about acid attacks the better, eh? Well, don't let us keep you from your mobility scooter. Here comes the policeman, the fat racist policeman, PC McGarry number 999. Online hate crime if you're offended all the time. Here comes the policeman, the bent bastard policeman, PC McGarry number 999. At Dumpton garage, there's Mr. Crockett, the mechanic, polishing his own car. He makes plenty of money from the amount he charges to fix other people's cars. And here come the troops, the local regiment. They want their engine topping up with petrol. It's not been an easy time for the regiment in recent years, what with the deaths of 3 young recruits at Pippin Fort. The Ministry of Defence argued in court that it was merely over-exuberant initiation ceremonies on the part of experienced troops, and considering many of them suffer from PTSD following service in Afghanistan and Iraq, the courts looked upon them with sympathy, and they were cleared of all charges. As Mr. Crockett fills up the army truck, he suddenly remembers he received a call from Mickey Murphy the baker to repair his van 3 hours ago. Driving along in a breakdown truck, a mechanic who doesn't give a fuck. He'll take all day and then he'll say the traffic was terrible on the way. Though the roads were clear by the time he's here, the hours you've wasted will cost you dear. What time do you call this? Said Mickey Murphy, who was more than a little irate. Don't you realise how it is for independent bakers these days, when everyone wants to buy their sodding sausage rolls from Greg's? I've got deliveries to make. But Mr. Crockett doesn't say anything until he looks at the engine, and then he says, "Ooh, I'm going to have to order a special part for this, mate. It'll take a couple of weeks to get here, and it'll cost you 300 quid. By the way, have you got any spare cheese and onion pasties? I'm starving." "Spare cheese and onion pasties," says Mickey Murphy. "You keep me waiting 3 hours and then tell me I'm going to have to wait a couple of weeks for a special part? Sod off!" So Mr. Crockett goes back to his garage and Mickey Murphy does without his van. The loss of trade will probably force him to sell out to Greg's. Over at Colley's Mill, poor old Windy Miller is also experiencing hard times. Ever since Brexit, the East Europeans that used to come and do part-time work at the mill during the summer months no longer come, and none of the locals will do the same work for the same wage. As a consequence, Windy has taken to drink. Thanks to now spending most of his days in a drunken stupor, his wife has also left him. Without Mrs. Miller, there's nobody to tell Windy to stop drinking. And he falls asleep most afternoons after a heavy session on his home brew. He doesn't even notice when the sails on his windmill stop working. In Dumpton Town Hall, the mayor of Dumpton is with the town clerk, Mr. Troop, who fondles the mayor's nipple. The mayor reminds him it was one night, 5 years ago, and both were extremely drunk at the time. So Mr. Troop backs away, and instead presents the mayor with a sequence of confidential documents that require his signature. "Most of these documents are expenses forms connected to your visit to the Council of Europe in Strasbourg a couple of months ago, sir," says Mr. Troop. "Ah, yes," says the mayor. "All taxpayer funded, though." "That's correct, sir. Thank you." "Oh, well, just one more free ride on the political gravy train," says the mayor. "What other reason is there to become mayor after all? Anything else on today?" "Yes," says Mr. Troop. "You have to inspect the park, sir. There's been vandalism again." "Out there?" "Oh, no. Don't we have council employees to clean up that sort of mess?" Mr. Troop reminds the mayor that he outsourced the maintenance of municipal parks to a private company who made the highest bid, a company his wife just happens to be a major shareholder in. Once in the park, the mayor disembarks from his official car and tells his driver that he's looking for somewhere to have a piss. Unfortunately, council cutbacks instigated by the mayor in order to finance his trips to Strasbourg means there's no longer a public convenience in the park. So the mayor looks around for a suitable spot where he won't be noticed, and then he's apprehended by one of the workers cleaning up the mess. "I'm glad you're here, sir," said the worker. "I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning and I still haven't finished. The place is an absolute bloody disgrace," he said. "Come and have a look at what I've been doing." "No, you're all right," said the mayor. "I just need to have a—" But before the mayor has an opportunity to explain his true presence in the park, he's confronted by the aftermath of another night out by some of the young people of Dumpton. "Absolute disgrace, sir," said the worker. "Condoms, crisp packets, pizza boxes, syringes. Absolute bloody disgrace. It's like this every morning when I come to work." "Why do they do it?" said the mayor. "It's completely senseless." "It's because you lot closed down all the youth clubs, and there's nowhere for them to go now. They're absolutely bored out of their minds. So they get pissed and they get stoned, and then they wreck the place. It doesn't take a genius to work it out." "Well, if you can't handle the work, why don't you just quit and say you're suffering from stress?" "I can't do that. I'm on a 0-hours contract," said the worker. "Anyway, look at the state of this. How's anyone supposed to sit down? You get splinters up your jacksie if you try and sit on this. I complain until I'm blue in the face, and what do you lot ever do about it? Nothing. I'm the one who has to deal with it." "Well, that's your job," said the mayor, "and I need a piss." At Winkstead Hall, stately home of Lord Belborough, Dumpton's resident aristocrat, Lord Belborough's butler, Mr. Brackett, is making one of his occasional hoax calls to the Dumpton Fire Brigade. "Dumpton Town Hall's on fire! Jesus Christ!" says Captain Flack. "This is a real emergency. Just hope it's not another bloody hoax." Jew, Timbuktu, Tranny, Jihadi, Dyke. So, as the Dumpton Fire Brigade made their way to Dumpton Town Hall, even though it wasn't on fire, Brackett returned to Lord Belborough and mused on the futility of servitude. There's Dr. Mop, outside his surgery, but on his way to play a round of golf. Along comes Mrs. Honeyman and her baby. He tells her the baby's looking fine, but she insists she needs to see him urgently. "It's a lump in my breast," she says. "Can I see you now?" "No, I'm sorry," says Dr. Mop. "What you're going to have to do is ring the surgery tomorrow morning. The line's open at 8. It'll probably take you a couple of hours to get through, but if you can make an appointment, I'll see you in about 3 weeks, okay?" Dr. Mop reminds Mrs. Honeyman she can always try NHS Direct, where she'll speak to somebody who's Malaysian, who can tell her what to do in broken English. But Dr. Mop isn't too concerned. He starts up his vintage car, and then he's thinking about a round of golf. Some might mistakenly believe Dr. Mop is making a house call, but Dr. Mop doesn't do that anymore. Lord Belborough is driving Bessie, his steam engine, to the biscuit factory. He's encouraged the workers there to come out on strike, and being a champagne socialist, he's promised to provide entertainment, as long as their wives dress as Russian peasant women, which he's always had a thing about. Time flies by when I'm the driver of a train, though the passengers waiting, they don't feel the same. Every day there's some delay, the trains are always running late, and they never come on time 'cause of leaves on the line. Price of tickets is a total bloody scandal, when the service is a national disgrace. Time flies by when I'm the driver of a train, and the company's in charge, hang their heads in shame. At 6 o'clock, on cue, the workers at the biscuit factory down tools and come out on strike. Their wives are waiting for them, as is Lord Belborough.